tea. The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. So world confusing me. Clouds as lean as you've ever seen. Ain't a bird who knows you're true. Then a little voice inside you whispers, don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a face of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look.
All right, how we all doing? How are we all doing tonight? That video, by the way, is hang on, I'll go ahead and if horror characters were a sitcom channel, is Merkins. Check it out. Give it likes and all that other crap. Here, I give it a like right here. Boom. So honestly, I just kind of feel like streaming to sort of wind down tonight. I gotta try and get to sleep like way earlier than I normally do. I gotta go to work tomorrow a lot earlier than I normally do. Oh, I normally go in at 2:30. I gotta go in at 11 tomorrow, which is a little early for me. Not usually up and about by 11. Life of a second shifter, I know. So figured I'd sit here and bullshit with y'all and try and wind down. You know, alone on a Friday night. We're all alone on a Friday night, aren't we? We're all trapped in the fucking house on a Friday night, aren't we? Oh, this is such horse shit. You know, somebody asked Cuomo, the New York governor with the pierced nipples, fucking Guido dirtbag Cuomo. They asked him, what do you say to these people that are, fucking going insane in their home? What do you say to these people that are fucking, destitute and they can't fucking, what do you say? He's like, what do you say about the Steve or the Steve jerking the chat? Fucked me up there. It just popped up. What do you say about the cure being worse than the disease? And he's like, the disease is death. It's like, fuck you, you piece of shit. The disease is death for 0.1% of the population. The fuck you talking about? Maybe not even that. Just get a job as an essential employee. That, understand, this has nothing to do with the fucking virus at this point. All right, the curve has been flattened. All right, it's fucking done. All right, this made sense early on. We didn't know what we were dealing with. Fine. There's no reason for it to be continuing. No, it's continuing because they like doing this to you. And you got some useful idiots, mostly on the left. And it's funny, they weren't upset about it when the solution was close the borders, but they're upset about it when the solution is, butt fuck the economy and, everybody gets free give-me-dats. But you also got idiots on the right. I got people on my server who are like, one of these guys was like, I never felt so free. People go on about my freedom. I never felt so free. I don't have to work. What a shitty fucking... getting fucking neat bucks so you could sit at home and eat tendies and jack off to increasingly disturbing pornography is not fucking freedom. Freedom is actually making your way in the world. Now, yeah, with freedom, you can eat nothing but tendies and jerk off to increasingly disturbing pornography. But, you earned it. Because you fucking paid for them tendies yourself. Now, there's a lot of shut ins. There's a lot of losers that want this to continue because it's an excuse to be a fucking shut in. But most people want to go back to living their fucking lives. God, I need a fucking haircut. God, I need a fucking haircut. I gotta find out where the black market haircut fucking joints are now. That's what it is. It's gonna be like fucking prohibition. Only instead of alcohol being banned, everything is banned. Oh, and these nurses. You see that we just had one up there. Um, the picture of the nurses and all the superheroes bowing to them. You got the Marvel characters on one side, you get the DC characters on the other. I don't know why Doctor Manhattan is with the Justice League, but okay, fine. I'm just me nerding out. I also don't know why Doctor Manhattan is 12 feet fucking tall in it. But again, that's me nerding out. It's fuck nurses. Oh, nurses are heroes. Nurses are most of them are hood rat trash. Most of them are fucking skanks. And the ones that aren't, God bless them, are usually at least dumb as a brick. I remember 10, 15 years ago, mid 2000s, I noticed early 2000s to mid 2000s, maybe even late 90s this was going on. I noticed I'd constantly see ads for nursing schools. And the gist of the ad would basically be, "Hey, are you an otherwise unemployable fucking hood rat piece of garbage? Why don't you go be a nurse? Come to the nursing school, go be a nurse." It'd be fucking Shanae Shabubu Jackson be like, "I couldn't feed my kids working at the McDonald's, so I became a nurse." And I remember thinking, man, this is not. I don't know that this is who should be nurses now. I mean, on the plus side, they might be a little better at finding a vein. Other than that, I really don't see how getting the dregs of society to be nurses is the best option. And I mean, not even just the dregs. Literally every fucking dipshit evangelical woman. There's like 3 career paths they pick from: teacher, nurse, or pyramid scheme on Facebook. That's about it. Nurses are heroes. No, they're not. You file that under cops are heroes in the pretty sounding lie category. Like, yes, I'd love to live in a world where that was true, but that's not the world we live in, is it? These nurses are fucking making TikTok videos, rehearsed fucking choreographed dance videos. Yeah, they're just overwhelmed. Again, I was for this early on. I said, okay, we need to take precautions. Let's just try and, you know, some of it I thought was overblown, but, fine. For like a week. And it's like, okay, I think, all right, nothing's overwhelmed yet. We never ran out of ventilators and all that other shit. And then you get the people to throw out like, well, there were such and such cases in this area, and there were so many cases in this area. And it all sounds really big because let's be real, on an emotional level, people can't process big numbers, okay? Like, your lizard hindbrain, okay? Your fucking caveman monkey brain, that part of you, the emotional part of you, the core part of you, the primal part of you, it can't process big fucking numbers. It really can't. You do not have an emotional sense of the difference between a billion and a million until you see a fucking graph showing the proportional size of it. You don't. You know how much your fucking hindbrain understands? It understands a fucking handful. Like 7 or 8, okay? Because that's all it needed to understand. It's a fucking, how many goddamn berries can I fit in my hand? How many rocks can I hold in my hand to go beat a fucking saber-toothed tiger over the head with it? Like, so when you hear, there was 100,000 deaths in this one area, and that area has like, 100 million people, you think, well, that's a lot, right? No, it's not. We're at like, what, 1.5 million worldwide? Fucking worldwide? You know how much 1.5 million out of 8 billion is? Not a fucking lot, okay? And like I said, I mean, I could get the calculator. We could fucking look at it, okay? But the point is, it's jack fucking shit. To quote that wonderful Bruce Campbell line, it ain't but jack and shit, and Jack left town. This plague is not a big fucking deal, okay? It's not the end of mankind. It's not the Walking fucking Dead. It's not even the boomer remover we all hoped for. And you know what? You can sit here and say, oh, back off. You're just concerned about money. Yeah. I'm so sick of this. Like, people over profits. You're just concerned about money. Of course I'm fucking concerned about money. Why aren't you? It says in the Bible, man does not live by bread alone. But implied in that statement, and understood by people at the time, because life was more about survival than it is now, he sure as fuck doesn't live without it. There's a reason, give us this day our daily bread. He's like the first fucking part of that. Because you're a living thing and you have needs. This idea that, oh, it's just money. How can you value money over life? Money is life. Oh, that's a terrible sounding thing to say, but it's fucking true. Try surviving without it. You know what money is? It's the roof over your head. It is the food in your belly. It is your ability to survive and thrive in this world. Somebody in the chat says, but Beckloff, don't you want the free porn on premium? Well, as lovely as that sounds, you know what I would prefer? I would prefer to go spend time with my friends. I want to go to a restaurant again. Oh, you talk about the little things in life, you never realize how much you miss it. I want to sit down and I want to have some cute little 19-year-old thought. Bring me a fucking drink and then bring me a fucking salad and then bring me a fucking piece of meat. I don't think because of something that is causing it's not even more than a 0.5% death rate. Probably even less than that, because I suspect it's even more contagious than we all thought. We probably all fucking had it and didn't even know. I was kind of sick around January for a while there. Had a cold I couldn't shake for a while there. Right around Christmas time and for a while after. Wasn't a really bad one. I was still going to work and shit, but it just lasted a while. So yeah, the death rate is probably way fucking lower. Because the infection rate is probably through the fucking roof. But yeah, fuck this. I don't think a 0.5% death rate is worth artificially trying to create a Great Depression, and I certainly don't think it's worth a fucking police state, because that's the other big problem we have. Because economies do heal, all right. Fucking liberty is a bit more fragile. And this idea that Governor Cuomo with his fucking nipple rings can tell everyone to eat shit and just sit in their apartments and wait to fucking become destitute and go insane. This idea that the government can tell you you can't go out, and when you do go out, you have to wear a fucking gay ass face mask and all this other shit. Just forever. Just fucking life now. That's horse shit. And the cops are loving this. Like, there's a few cops that actually have souls, and they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to enforce their stuff. Most of them, though, most cops are fucking bullies. They're fucking sociopaths. They're fucking garbage. File them under nurses with got into it for all the wrong fucking reasons. Most cops are fucking garbage, and they love this shit. They love being able to swing their dick around. Yeah, most cops fucking love this shit. And the governors fucking love it. So no, I don't think any of this is worth it. This motherfucking thing could be a 5% death rate with just as contagious, and I still wouldn't think it's worth all this shit. How many people have and will die from suicide because of how badly this has fucked their life and how hopeless everything fucking seems? How many people, if this might not, because this is so artificial. Once the fucking once the leash is taken off the economy, it could roar back. There'll be some damage, but it could roar back. So I don't know that I buy this is gonna be a depression unless they just keep it the fuck up forever. But how many If it's a depression, how many people are going to die from that? I see you on Skype there, John. I'll get to you in a minute. Yeah, I'm fucking sick of this shit, man. The first week of this, I actually had off the first week. My company shut down and then wasn't sure what to do, and then kind of rehired after that first week. Um, but I went to the comic book store and um, no, it was that first week and then the next week when I was working. I went to the comic store and the first week they were open of this mess, and then the second week they were closed because they were ordered to close, but you could get curbside pickup. So I gotta go outside the comic book store, and I gotta call the guy. He comes out with it in a bag. He's like, "You got the money? You got the stuff? Like we're fucking trading. It's gotta be fucking black market shit to buy some comic books." And then after that, I haven't gone because they're just not getting new shipments in. Diamond basically damn near out of business now. Just this next week, they're supposed DC's Comics is going to be shipping some stuff, so we'll see. Um, um, just last week, I think it was, or no, it was Monday. I got a Retron 5 with some of my Trump bucks. Been wanting one of those for a while, and I bought it from the local retro game store. And I ended up having to go to the apartment of the fucking guy that runs it to pick it up. And again, it feels like I'm fucking buying illegal shit. It's just illegal to fucking do business now. Like, this is done. This is over. There's nothing to fucking worry about this shit anymore. I gotta wear a mask at fucking work now. Everywhere in public in PA, you have to wear a fucking mask. So I gotta wear this gay fucking mask. The one my work gives me, I can't fucking breathe with this damn thing on. Pushes on my nose too fucking much. So I have this shitty little like one that go like, but then I have to wear safety goggles for work. So the fucking safety goggles are fogging up because the mask is making my breath go in the back into my fucking face. So all day long I'm fighting with my fucking goggles and shit. And why? Again, I'm not going to dox myself, but I assure you, I work around some machinery that gets very, very hot. And I'm nowhere near any other fucking person. So in the off chance I already haven't fucking caught the Kung Flu, I'm not going to catch it at fucking work. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Tom fucking Wolf, my glorious fucking governor, went out into a press conference where he was standing shoulder to shoulder with all of his fucking staff members because they all wanted to get in the shot. None of them wearing a fucking face mask, and told the rest of us we have to stay 6 feet apart from each other and wear face masks. This whole thing is fucking horseshit. And it amazes me there's still people going along with it. There's still people like, yeah, we're going to get everybody killed if we go back to work. I don't care at this point. I don't think it's a big fucking deal. But you know what? I don't care at this point. I don't care if half of us are going to cough our fucking lungs out in the next month. Literally cough our lungs out of our mouths and die there on the spot. This fucking world's overpopulated anyways. Trimming 8 billion down to 4 billion wouldn't be such a bad fucking thing. And it's better than a fucking police state in my opinion. All right. John Steele wants to hop in. I'm going to give him a call on the Skype's there, as Cantwell used to say. I don't know. Maybe he still says it. No, I think he's in jail now. Let's see. I don't have a link for you, John. I'm going to have to call you because I don't have a Hangout set up. Let me check my settings real quick before I call you. Because as I always forget, every fucking time I turn Skype on or off or I unplug the mic, it wants to make the speakers let's see. Wants to make the speakers the microphone.
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. So I'm curious, how do you feel about this lockdown?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, no, I caught that. I do have a question though. So you're governor, like, is there a lock? I mean, what are you, an essential worker for Oscar Schindler or something, or what? I mean,
yes, I am. The boxes are essential at the box factory. And there's still some stuff open. It's still not it's not as bad as some places. Like, I think there's a curfew at night, so like right now I couldn't, but like, and I got to work tomorrow anyways. But let's say I had off tomorrow, I could get up around noon, as I tend to do, and I could wander over to the Target or the Walmart if I wanted. I could go to the grocery store. I could go to a lot of different food places that have like pickup or takeout. So it's not as bad as a lot of places. I grant that, but it's like most stuff is closed. You can't sit down anywhere to fucking eat. Like, I'm about to like go to Taco Bell this weekend because I know they have fucking tables outside, and if the tables are still there, I'm just gonna fucking eat my meal outside, and I'm be like, fucking arrest me. Fucking arrest me. Like last weekend,
they might do that.
Good.
I mean, I don't know.
Good. Fucking, they will not take me alive. Last weekend, I sat on the fucking hood of my car eating a goddamn Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich like a fucking animal. All right? Because I can't just sit down and eat my... And I didn't get nuggers because you can't get fucking nuggers if you can't not know where to sit them so you can dip them. So I just had my chicken sandwich. And by the way, I had to wait in the drive-through lines are batshit insane. Like circling around the building and then into the next parking lot over and shit. Like, cause everyone just like wants to fucking live their lives. Nobody. And that's the thing. If this was the fucking thing everybody tells us, we'd all already be dead. Okay.
Oh, can I just say something about that? Because you were saying that people probably had it. I just read this I think it was the day before yesterday, actually. It was a study done in Massachusetts where they actually did a random testing of antibodies. And based on that testing, yeah, we all probably have had it and didn't know it.
There's been a couple of those where they're thinking, and they're sort of keeping that quiet, but it's like, yeah, we already fucking had it.
Yeah, it's way more contagious than they initially thought, but way less lethal. And so you were pretty close to the numbers. The guesstimate now is somewhere between 0.4 and 0.2 lethality rate.
Yeah,
because so many people have it, and it didn't. I mean, so many people had it and didn't get, like, because you said I mean, if you're like, let's say, 8 to 18,
most people had just no symptoms.
No symptoms, literally. Like, they may not even have sneezed. The older you get, for whatever, for reasons I don't fully understand, it goes up. But, like my buddy had it. He's a motorman in the New York trains, and he got it, and he was sick for about a week. I mean, but it wasn't anything special. He said, like, it was
and again, like I said, I can still go to Target. Okay, I have no less of a chance of catching this fucking thing at Target than I do going to the comic book store on Wednesday. But I'm not allowed to go to the comic book store on Wednesday because the comic book store is a big fucking corporation with, you know, that lobbies the fucking governor to stay open.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing. The one place where everybody is going to go, unless you're like a prepper or something, is the grocery store. So it's kind of like force. I mean, that's where that you're going to catch it, because no one really can practice true social distancing in a grocery store. Are you kidding me? So it's basically retarded. Look, everybody. Chances are you had it when they actually do the antibody testing. They're going to. Because if you just test someone for the virus and they come back negative, well, that means that they may have had it last month and it's gone, right? But when they actually do the antibody testing, they're going to show that like 80% of the population had this.
My boss, like the boss of the whole building that I rarely see, this past week, every day he comes to every fucking employee, and he has like a thermometer, and it's like, you know, he doesn't even have to touch you with it. He's got it like an inch away from your forehead, and he reads your temperature each day, and he does that to fucking everybody. And he's like, every time he's just mumbling about, like, this is so retarded.
Oh, because they make him do it?
Yeah, they're making him do it. Which, by the way, I learned something interesting about myself. Apparently, my body runs cooler than most people. I'm at about, what is it, 98.6 is the... is the common average. I'm at about a 97 point... Between... it's like 97.5 was the lowest I got, and 97.9 was the highest I got all week.
Well, that's because you're actually a superhero, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, actually, I got bit by a zombie. I'm actually physically dead. So, and you guys just like, man, 54.9. That's not. Let me check your pulse. You have no pulse. This is.
Actually, they don't. For you, they don't check your temperature. They hold up a mirror, see if they can see you.
I'm just, the whole thing's fucking horseshit, and you know, and I hear people like, oh, you know, going on about it's not that big a deal. It's like, you know, like there's some people in my Discord want to go on like, you know, there's so many things we could do to make this so much more comfortable, and they go on about all, and like, yes, you could use technology to make everyone's home the most comfortable fucking cage in the world, but we'd still all be caged fucking animals. Nobody wants to live this way, okay?
No, I mean, it was interesting. At first, it was, for me at least, it was kind of fun for the first week.
Yeah, the first few days of the first week, I was like, you know, I had a week off. I was like, yeah, that ain't so bad. And, you know, I got the unemployment for it. No, it's great, you know, but, like...
Oh, I mean, I started to... Because I don't watch television, so I started to discover all these TV shows I could download, and, you know, I was... Stuff like that, and I had a family issue I had done with right before this, so I was very stressed, so I appreciated the week of the downtime. But after that, I was like, I'm a fucking caged animal.
Yeah, people need to be able to live their lives. They got to go see their friends. People want to date. People want to just go the fuck out and do shit.
Well, I also think some of the people, I mean, no disrespect to some of the people in your Discord, but I mean, I think there is a lot of incel type people that don't really notice a difference.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are happy to be trapped in their home eating tendies and all. And it's you know, it's fun for a couple of days, and then enough's enough. I can't stand this, man. It's fucking ridiculous. I need to get my hair cut. You know.
Yeah, that's a funny one. I was having it's funny you said that. I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine, and we were talking about this, and all these things that you just take for granted. Because cause right before I got on the phone with her, I was thinking, oh man, you know, I got to get my hair cut. And I'm like, oh, what are you talking? I can't get my hair cut. It was, you know, just things like that you take, all these little things you just take for granted. You know what I mean?
I usually, unless I'm seeing a chick and she, you know, she's like, oh, I like your hair this way. I'm like, fine, whatever. You got to look at it. But generally, I just buzz my hair, and then I end up like, because I don't like getting my hair cut, so I end up going like months without getting my hair cut, and then it's all like fucking scruffy and scraggly, and it's like a pain in the ass, and I'm like, fine, I'm just gonna buzz it again. Like, that's what I do most of the time. I buzz my hair like 2 or 3 times a year.
You mean you do it yourself?
No, I go get.
Okay.
I go get the quick thing at the barbershop for like $10.
Okay.
But I wish I'd just fucking buy clippers or something because at this point I'd be able to. It's kind of a pain in the ass to do it yourself. I've only done it myself one time, but, now I wish I had the fucking clippers with me. But yeah, I always hate getting my
I get
hair
my
cut.
haircut. I get my haircut very short when I don't quite get a buzz cut, but I do get it really, really short.
Like I turn into like an autistic kid or something when I get my hair cut. Like I can't. Like it's just really uncomfortable, and then you get the loose hair on you. Like I have to just go. I have to then just fucking rinse my head off and shit. Like they'll be like, "Do you want your hair shampooed?" And sometimes I'll go for that, but I'm like, "No, but can you just rinse it off?" Like it's fucking aggravating. Like I always hated getting my hair cut. I remember after high school, I went through like a weird phase where I just went like almost 2 years without getting my hair cut at all. Just
Yeah, that's a long time.
I was just like, people would be like, "You should get a haircut." I'm like, I don't want to get a haircut.
Yeah, you must look like a fucking hippie.
I did. I spent one of those summers, fucking wearing sandals all the time. I was obnoxious sandal guy. This fucking 19-year-old douchebag, scraggly hair and sandals.
So like, you was just like in the '90s or something. You were a sensitive ponytail guy or something.
Yeah, I was that in the early 2000s. I guess it was like 2002, 2003. I just decided I was that for a while for some reason. I don't know what the fuck came over.
How did that work with the chicks? Did they dig that? I think that was kind of going out of style around that time though. It was in the '90s. They had the long hair.
Well, the girl I was seeing, she liked my hair being kind of long because kind of a little something to grab hold of. My head's between her legs. But she was not fond of the sandals thing because the thing about sandals is your feet get really fucking filthy. just disgusting. And she'd always be like, "God damn it! Like take those off." And then she's like, "Actually,
wash your feet."
Yeah, she's like, "Put socks on or something." It's disgusting. And just fucking vacuum the floor. Like you're not the boss of me. At least not outside the bedroom. But yeah, just some douchey thing I went through at like 19. I was like, "Fuck you! I'm not getting my hair cut. I'm not gonna let the man tell me to cut my hair."
Well, I did want to ask you though. Do you have any friends or like maybe not like close friends, but like friends that are like business owners? Like, are you like buddies with the guy that owns like the diner or something like that? And wondering how this is affecting them.
I kind of know the guy who runs the one comic book store, and he's he's shipping some stuff out, so he is bringing in a little bit of money. But by and large, he's basically just had to go to the bank and say, bills ain't getting paid these next months, and then there's all sorts of. I guess there's like programs and stuff he's applying for and loans and shit like that. And
yeah, but I don't think these loans. I mean, the thing about the loans is where you still have to pay it back, and you're not going to get.
You can get forgivable loans if you maintain your payroll.
Okay.
Which for some businesses ain't that bad. Like I know a comic book store. I mean, he's got like 3 or 4 employees. He's paying, basically, work behind a counter bullshit wages. So that might not be too bad for him. I don't know. But
well, I'm just thinking there's some businesses that are not going to come back.
A lot of places can get fucked. A good example, there's a retro arcade in the next county over in York County. They have 2 locations where it's like you pay by the hour to be in there, but everything is free to play. It's really nice. Mm-hmm. And they were supposed to put a location in my county this year. And I was all excited about that. Just about a week ago, I think it was, I saw him on Facebook with a GoFundMe saying, "Please donate money to us so we don't fucking collapse."
Oh, man.
So yeah, there's a lot of small businesses that are going to get fucked. There's a lot of big corporations. They got the money, and they're applying for this shit to themselves. And some of them are even able to stay open. I mean, Target and Walmart are making a fucking killing right now, aren't they?
Yeah, so is Amazon.
I mean, think about that. Like, early on in this, GameStop, at least in my state, tried to stay open because they were like, "No, we're essential too," which is, I mean, bullshit. Like, no, you're not. But at the same point, they had a good point. They were like, well, how come Target and Walmart get to sell video games and we don't? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Target and Walmart have grocery stores in them, quote unquote, but, you know, I've been to Target a couple times these past few weeks and it ain't been for fucking groceries.
Well, actually, I heard because in where I live, we don't have liquor stores. Like liquor stores or liquor sold at like the grocery store. But I was speaking to my mom the other day, and she said that the New York that the liquor stores are all open
I
because
know
that's
New
considered.
Jersey, the liquor stores are open. I know Tucker was giving the New Jersey governor shit for that. Like, oh, so we close the churches, but we keep the liquor stores open. Why is that?
Yeah, why is that? I mean, I'm seriously, why is that? That's the one-armed essential worker.
You know,
I don't get.
I said a little while ago, like some basic precautions, like if, okay, let's say we get the first week or so where a bunch of stuff shut down all over the place. All right, fine. But then we're like, okay, well, we can't do this forever. We got to open up. Why not something as simple as saying, you know what? All public buildings in this state, for example, in PA, for example, if the governor would have said, right now, all public buildings, when they open back up, the maximum occupancy is cut in half. That would have been a reasonable precaution that, you know, wouldn't have left us all feeling like trapped in our fucking homes, you know, and like that's a reasonable precaution, you know. Okay, fine.
Well, I got a better idea, and it's not. It's well, I shouldn't say it's my idea. I read this is an article I read about a week ago by an epidemiologist, or maybe he was a virologist, and he said what we should have done was not do any of this. Have regular people shelter in place. It should have been quarantine all the nursing homes, all the quote unquote at risk people. Tell everybody who has diabetes or suffers from one of these comorbidities, you don't go to work, but you're still covered. You know, the government could have passed something that didn't cost 10 trillion or whatever they did pass. Everybody else goes because, and obviously, you know, if you have a sick parent or something like that, you're going to have to, you know, do like a Cuomo thing, put them in the basement or something. And but then, and the worst thing he said that we did do was shut down the schools because kids get this and they don't get sick. So that would have developed herd immunity like that. And he said we could have been over in a month.
Well, you know, I actually was I wanted to shut down the schools before this, but that was for different reasons.
Well, just have them go to the school. They don't have to learn anything or do anything, but just all mixed together. And
we made them do recess.
Yeah,
But the rest of the day go home.
Yeah, just let them run around and you know, I don't know, play dodgeball, whatever the fuck they can't do that anymore. Whatever they're allowed to play in schools now. Actually, I think they even took away recess. No wonder the kids are going out of their fucking mind. They're forced to sit in these schools and they don't even let them run around and play tag anymore.
Steve's Jerky says, problem with cutting off an alcoholic supply is you can make them really sick or kill them because they're physically dependent. Yes, I know. Nobody's trying to take away Irini's booze. What I was saying is that, you know, maybe we just also let the churches be open. You know what? How about we just let every fucking thing be open? How about that? How about I can go to fucking Applebee's tomorrow, okay? How about that? How about we just, enough's enough with this dumb shit?
Yeah, with the caveat that places like nursing homes and stuff like that are locked down.
No, fuck them too. No, you know what? No.
Fuck that.
Actually, they're gonna get the worst of it because enough's enough. I was promised a boomer remover. Damn it.
Hey, my mom, you know, and your dad, you know.
He's fine. He's been at work every fucking day too. He'd be dead by now too if this was the boomer. Like, and you know, part of me wonders, should I have just fucking taken a layoff? Because like they called me after that first week. They're like, "Do you want to?" Like it was that Friday. They're like, "We're starting back up next week, Monday. Do you want to come? You want to come back, or do you want to take a layoff?" And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to be on unemployment again. And I was like, no, I want to come back. And I'm still mostly convinced that was the right thing to do, just because, fuck, man, I'd be losing my goddamn shit right now if I was home all the time.
Yeah, you would have went postal and killed somebody. I think you own guns.
I mean, I would have just fucking... I joked about sitting down outside the Taco Bell and you'll never take me alive, but that would have been a real fucking thing by about week 4. Like, no, I'm going to sit here and eat my goddamn quesadilla, or I'll see you in hell. Like, somebody says, did Medicare vanish again? I don't even know where Medicare's streaming at these days. Like, I think he got his channel got a strike, so he couldn't stream. I don't know. He's probably on one of the shitty fucking other things that I never go to. So I don't know. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know. Maybe he's embarrassed about the hysterical fucking fool he acted for the past couple months.
Oh yeah, he was pro lockdown. British James told me that there was a debate he did with somebody, and he was extremely pro lockdown, from what I heard. I didn't listen to it.
Insanely pro lockdown. And look, early on with the reports out of China and all, like, yeah, it was fucking concerning. Like, early on, I did not think we took this seriously enough. Because I still don't think we were at the time. In January and February, no, our leaders were not taking this seriously enough. Remember fucking Nancy Pelosi telling you to go to Chinatown and suck Rando's dick? Like,
are the Italians telling everybody to hug a Chinaman?
Yeah, yeah, nobody was taking that shit seriously, and it was a major concern. There was a large unknown about it. But you know what? Like, now it's the opposite, okay?
Well, I don't know if I told you this, but I actually self-quarantined myself 2 days before they had the lockdown here in Washington. Because what happened was I had to go to New York for a medical family thing. And, I was in New York, and it was, flying is, the worst place. You're on a fucking tube for 8 hours. And plus, when I was in New York, everybody's on top of each other. New York's hard to describe to people who haven't ever been there, like just how people are just
crowded.
Yeah, it's a wee bit. I mean, you've been there, right? So you know what I'm talking
I've been there a couple of times.
So you know what it's like ants, but people, and everybody's on top of each other. And this was in February, so I did see, I was there, and I was like, yeah. And we were already starting to hear about the virus, but no measures had been taking place or anything like that. And I came back in, and I made my final preparations and like that. And I said, all right, Friday night, I said, this is it. I'm locking myself down. And then all of a sudden, and then that Monday, 2 days later, they said, or 3 days later, they said, yeah, we're instituting a total lockdown for Washington State, because I don't know if you remember in King County.
They were one of the first ones that went into that. There's a few states that are still open. Like, I think Arizona never locked down.
South Dakota, Arkansas.
But I mean, there's like 9 people in South Dakota.
Yeah. There's we're opening up.
I think everybody just takes turns being the governor in South Dakota.
You're up. Your turn.
They don't even vote. They don't even elect. It's just fuck it up. It's your turn to be governor this week. All right.
Yeah, Aaron Cleary is going to be governor there. He bought property up there.
Oh, I forgot. Man, he picked and he complains about the cold too. And I'm like, why? You can go anywhere, and you live in like fucking tundra. Like, just go.
Yeah, they have some harsh winters in South Dakota.
Yes, because I'm not even convinced human beings are supposed to live there.
Well, actually, I had a buddy of mine that lived for several years in Minot, North Dakota, which is the frozen tundra.
Which one has doesn't one of them have Mount Rushmore?
Yeah. What is it, North or South? I think it's South Dakota, isn't it?
Oh, so North Dakota is the lesser Dakota.
Oh, there's nothing in North Dakota. I mean, there's no reason to be in North Dakota.
Generally speaking, the easier a state is to draw, the harder it is to live in.
if it's got a square or rectangle, yeah.
Culture is attracted to squiggly lines, apparently.
Yeah. Though I don't know if I don't know if anybody wants to live in California or whatever. I mean, I was just on David Perodin's the safety doc. I don't know if you know who he is. I was just on his live stream, and one of the things that's going on now is people are real estate, believe it or not, is actually showing an uptick in rural areas. People want to get the fuck out of the cities.
Oh, I don't blame them. I mean, there's a reason I live in a rural area now. As I've said, I'm kind of poor. And when you're poor, you can live in the ghetto or the sticks. And I'll take the sticks over the ghetto all day, every day. Now, if I win the Powerball or something, I probably would prefer to have a nice house in fucking Key West or some shit like that. or even just a really nice dense suburb. Not necessarily city, but like a nice suburb with lots of stuff to do or something. But yeah, generally, if you want to get away from a lot of the problems, I mean, rural areas where you go.
Well, if I win that Powerball, I'll tell you what, I'll buy you a condo in Key West, but I'm building a fucking bunker in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I kind of feel like I want to have a bunker like just outside the city limits in like Las Vegas.
Nah, I want my bunker to be in the Northwest somewhere, like Eastern Washington, Northern Idaho, Montana, someplace like that.
I want to have a trailer just outside Vegas, like that one guy in Kill Bill that shot Uma Thurman with the rock salt.
Yeah, that what was that guy's name? I like that actor. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. He's pretty cool. He's often the good thing in a lot of terrible things. He's often the one good thing in terrible movies.
He was the guy that like sold his katana at like a pawn shop or something. When his brother came to him, who was the guy that played David Carradine came to him. He's like,
yep, he was in that Blood Rain movie too. If you ever seen that, it's terrible. But there's a death scene in it where he's like getting stabbed, and you could just tell that he was probably drunk off his ass on set and all, and he just did not care. Like, but somehow it fit with the character.
He was the guy in Pulp Fiction that tortured the cop.
Was he? Maybe.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen Pulp Fiction.
Well, yeah, it's 30 years old.
Well, yeah, I think I saw it probably last 10 years ago.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he's one of these
Michael
actors.
Madison. That's
yeah. No, that's him. That was the guy in Pulp Fiction that tortures the cop. Remember, he cuts his ear off and
hell of an actor.
Yeah.
Oh, he cuts his ear off. Are you thinking of Reservoir Dogs?
Oh, I'm sorry, Reservoir Dogs. Same, yeah, Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, he was the guy dancing to "Stuck in the Middle with You."
Yeah,
Which I will never hear that song and not think of that. I didn't even like that movie that much, but anytime I hear that song, I'm thinking of that scene.
Well, I like that movie because it's all dialogue. You know, because they shoot like 90% of it in the, what is it, a warehouse or something? I don't know what the fuck that was. Yeah, like a warehouse or something.
I mean, Pulp Fiction's still Tarantino's best. I really don't think he ever touched that level again.
Yeah, I kind of got. I don't remember anything he did after Pulp Fiction. I never saw like Django Unchained or any of that.
I didn't see Django. I saw Kill Bill, like the 1 and 2. It's basically one long movie, and it was fine. Like, I didn't dislike it, but I've never really felt the desire to watch it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought it was overrated.
I mean, yeah, everyone's like, this is his swan song. And I'm like, it's fine. I mean, I liked it, but that's not... To quote a better Tarantino movie, let's not go suck at each other's dicks just yet. Which, by the way, that actor was in both the first 2 Tarantino films. He's great. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Somebody took Tarantino in Pulp Fiction when he was like, do you see a sign outside my house saying dead nigger storage? Somebody took that and they overlaid it on like a SpongeBob scene with like SpongeBob and Patrick and Squidward and all. And SpongeBob is like, do you see a sign outside my house saying dead nigger storage? And it is like perfectly synced up to the fucking to target. So it's so fucking funny. I could watch it over and over again.
Kind of like the Moon Man video. Yeah, that was some great lines in that movie. That was one of them. Well, especially the 2 guys with the blood all over their hair and they're drinking coffee and they're. I used the same soap you did, and when I did it, it didn't look like a maxi pad when I was done.
Oh, that movie's great.
Oh, but I just was thinking of a couple of things that are never coming back. I said in the comments, the cruise ship industry. No fucking way people are going on cruises in my lifetime ever again.
Who the fuck was ever... That is the dumbest boomer shit in the world. Like, a boat is what you take to get to where you're going. Like, what is this shit of like, this is going to be the vacation. We're going to be in a fucking boat. Like, well, where's the boat going? Fuck you, that's where. And by the way, evangelicals are the worst with cruises because evangelicals take cruises to like fucking Alaska. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because they don't want girls in bikinis or something. But evangelicals fucking love going to Alaska, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty. Like, I like seeing pictures of it, okay? But it's cold, and there's nothing to fucking do there.
There's that actually
you
that
want to just
that,
stare
that,
at a glacier for like.
that cruise ship leaves from downtown Seattle.
Oh God.
The one that you're talking about.
But yeah, cruises are fucking stupid. All right, like the only way a cruise would be fun is if I was, with a lovely lady and we're just going at it in the fucking, in our room all the time. But we might as well just get a hotel then.
Well, do you ever think it's kind of funny that a ship has a pool in it? Does that just seem like weird to you? That like a cruise ship has a giant outdoor pool?
Giant pool.
It's like, well, I mean, you're in the ocean. Like, I mean, it's the stupidest fucking thing.
I would never go on a fucking cruise. Fuck that. Like, just no. Like, no, that's so dumb. There's so many other things I'd rather do on a vacation. Like, I'm not even that much of a beach guy, but go to the beach instead. You're like, just.
Oh yeah, the beach. You can hang out on the boardwalk and watch fucking chicks in the bikinis. And cruise ships are not designed for people over 6 feet like myself. I mean, you ever see like what the showers are like in those places? I mean, you can't turn around. I mean, it's just, everything is microed down, so they can pack as many fucking elderly people together.
I don't know. I think cruise ships is this. It's this weird. That is something only the boomers could have created, because the boomers never before has a generation been so creative when it comes to pissing away their children and grandchildren's inheritance. Like, never before has that happened. Like, it truly took the boomers to create the reverse mortgage. Okay.
I didn't think of that.
I just. It's so dumb.
Yeah,
I'm not going to miss that industry. Let that fucking die.
Yeah, let that. Well, I mean, yeah, it's not like because I heard a rumor that you don't really like boomers too much. I don't know where I got that from. I just
not a fan. Not a fan of boomers.
Not a fan. I mean, I understand. I mean, it's easy to hate the boomers, because let's be honest. But I mean, the thing about boomers, it's the largest generation ever, right, in the history of the world. But
enough about their waistline.
Enough about their waistline, right? But there's a dichotomy of the boomers, right? I mean, there was like the boomers that dodged the draft, and Bill Clinton went and got high and went to Woodstock and started bringing back venereal disease.
Even like the conservative boomers are shit. Like they really are, because it's like the conservative boomers are neocons basically. They're idiots. They're fucking morons. They're boomers right and left are garbage. In fact, I actually think, the political compass, I think we need to make a 3D version of it. We need a Z-axis. And the Z-axis...
I like, my political viewpoint is on what they call a third position, because I don't fall in the Venn diagram.
Well, no, we need a third axis instead of, it's like the libertarian versus authoritarian and the right versus left. We also need a third axis, a three-dimensional axis that's boomer and zoomer.
Yeah, well, actually, we
like everybody on the boomer side, all four of those of the eight fucking cubes they're all pro-Israel.
Yeah, that's one of the. Well, I mean, to be honest, the pro-Israel thing, that's purely an evangelical, unless you're Jewish. That's purely an evangelical thing. I mean, they push that. They've been pushing that shit since I was.
It's a boomer conservative thing. I hear a lot of boomers that just, Fox News told me Israel's good, so I believe it. Like, and they're not necessarily evangelicals. It's just like greatest ally. Like,
yeah, my ass.
They just like, I'd hate to meet our worst enemy then. Jesus. But yeah, boomers are fucking terrible. Like, and the Vietnam War. That's a perfect example. Because, okay, you know what? You got the draft dodgers. And, fuck those guys. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't have fucking told him to pound sand. Like, if I was alive then and they were like, well, Chris, you have to go fight in Vietnam, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Well, what do you mean? Well, like, yeah, it's stupid, and I'm not going to do that. Well, you have to. Well, I'm not going to. And I just keep going to work until they come to arrest me. But that's called standing up for your fucking principles. I wouldn't run away to fucking Canada. I wouldn't say, oh, I can't because my foot hurts or some gay shit like that. I'd just be like, no, I'm not gonna go. What are you gonna do? You're gonna drag me to fucking boot camp, and then I'm just not gonna fucking do the push-ups when he tells me to do the push-ups. He'll probably hit me because back then they could. But okay, fine. You beat me up. I don't care. Like I'll probably swing at you back. Yeah, you're probably gonna kick my ass, but whatever. It's like I'm not gonna comply. I'm just not.
The worst. The worst.
And eventually, you could either throw me in jail or you could just say, "Fine, go home."
Yeah, well, you'd get a dishonorable discharge.
What are you gonna hand me a gun and tell me to shoot at the enemy? I'm not sure you want to give me a gun in that situation. Is all I'm saying. Like, you handed me the gun, I'd look you in the eye, and go, I wouldn't.
That reminds me of like, did you ever see what was that movie, Animal House, when they were saying at the very end of the movie when they says like what happened to the people after graduation, and it was like Niedermeyer. It says like went to Vietnam, shot by his own troops.
Yes. But yeah, it's like but that's called taking a stand for your beliefs, and the boomers didn't do that by and large. They always found some way to worm out of it. You know what I mean? Like I would have just. Like I'd have gotten the letters to the draft and I would have just written like in red marker like no and fucking mailed it back. And then I just keep going to work and my boss would be like, why are you here? I heard you got drafted. Like, yeah, I said no. Like, so just let me keep working until they come to get me. How about that?
Well, the people I hated more than the ones that quote unquote dodged the draft by going to Canada or or whatever are the motherfuckers that joined the National Guard to get out of it.
That's what I mean. I would not do any shit like that weaseling around. And everybody did that. Yeah, the rich kids did that. Fucking W did that. But that's the other thing that drives me nuts. The ones that went because they were rah, fucking Captain America, all that shit. They went and they went into the most pointless, mismanaged war this nation ever fought. And that's fucking saying something. And then, after that, 30 years later, when they were in power and they were elected officials, they decided, you know what? Remember how I went to go bleed out in the jungle for no fucking reason? Well, you know what's a good idea? Let's send our sons, and worse yet, our daughters, to go bleed out in the sand for no fucking reason.
Twice.
It's amazing the amount of boomers who were Vietnam veterans and they fucking sent their kids to Iraq. Like, wow, you learned nothing.
No, that's true. Well, the difference, though, you could argue that the military was all volunteer.
True, but like the people that see, I really don't take that volunteering lightly, and I think a lot of politicians do. Like, well, they volunteered for that. No, they volunteered to protect this country, not go and topple a dictator in Iraq to destabilize a region for no good goddamn reason. They didn't volunteer to protect Israel. They didn't volunteer to be the world's fucking policeman. They volunteered to protect this nation. So if I'm in charge, in the unlikely event I'm ever president, and I gotta go send them to die somewhere, I don't do that lightly. And too many politicians do. Lord knows W did. And while Obama ran on, I'm a peace candidate, he certainly didn't fucking govern that way. To his credit, Trump has held that back a lot. Now, he flirts with that shit way too much for my liking, but we're not in Iran right now like everyone wanted us to be. Of course.
That's right. Didn't he at the last minute, he pulled the plug on that op,
yeah,
right?
he assassinated some general or something, which even that we shouldn't have done. But, and
no,
like
but
the Syria thing, he like lobbed some missiles at a fucking tarmac, and it's like he kind of like started doing shit, but then it's like, no, I don't want to do that. Hey, you fucking loser! I'm just gonna fucking get 2 scoops of my ice cream, like. And you know what? To his credit, he held that shit back because any other Republican, we'd have been in Iran 6 months in, if that, and the same with Hillary.
Oh, fuck, yeah. I mean,
so
she never said no to a war or a drone strike in her life. I mean,
her husband did, but that was the one he was supposed to go fight in, so. But yeah, Hillary or any other Republican, even Cruz, would have fucking gotten us in that mess 6 months in the administration. We wouldn't have been done 2017, and we'd be in a hell of a shitstorm.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck the boomers, man. It's funny too. Like my generation sucks. The millennials fucking suck, and I'm kind of on the straddling the Gen X too, and they fucking suck too. And the Zoomers fucking suck. A whole lot of them fucking suck.
Gen X, and I'm not being biased because I am one. What did we ever do? We didn't do anything bad.
Exactly.
I mean, we didn't. There's
You
nothing
do
you can say
anything.
on it.
You didn't do anything but sit there and be ironic and stare at your fucking navels.
But we did. We literally didn't.
You
do
gave
it.
us Kurt Cobain. Okay, you did that. Like
okay, that's an unforgivable sin, perhaps. But we didn't. There's nothing you could say. Oh, you could blame this on Gen. No, the Gen X got fucked because they're between.
Yeah, you don't even get an F. You get an incomplete.
Exactly.
You didn't even show up to take the test.
That's all you could say about Gen X because we were sandwiched between two giant generations, the boomers and the millennials. We're like the small.
Being ironic about everything.
We were just like, leave us the fuck alone. I mean, the reason the term Gen X comes around was because that term Gen X was developed by a marketing company accidentally, and it took on because they were having trouble targeting that demographic that I belong to, and they said they're not doing what they're supposed to. We're trying to target them to buy shit, and they're not. And we just kind of went and did our own thing, and I don't know. I mean, you could say that's a sin in and of itself, but it's not like we fucked anything up,
But yeah, when I see, it's funny. I get defensive about millennials only when I see boomers shitting on them. Like, no, you don't get to say it. Like, no.
Yeah, I get that's. Well, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I just don't believe that you can really say that. Like Gen X, all you can say is they didn't show up. But I mean, you can't say they did something wrong. It's like they didn't bother you. They didn't. I mean, there's nothing you can say. My life sucks because of Gen X. You can't. We didn't do anything.
Well, yeah, but that's not good either.
Okay.
I'm not saying like I said, I threw every generation that currently lives under the bus there. I'm not saying, it's worse or better in the millennials or anything. It's just like, you just fucking you didn't do anything.
No, you're right. You could probably say, we did one bad thing is, the grunge. But other than that, we didn't do anything. Yeah. All right, fine. That's our worst sin. I mean, at least. But I mean, I don't think you can convicted in a court of law. You're guilty.
God, there's like a 4-year period in the '90s where that was just everything. Like, God, it's weird. Like in '96, '97, it broke, and then like people were realized, oh, you can smile in a music video again. Yeah, that's fine. But for about 4 years there, it's like everybody just fucking moping and just looking down at the grass. Like, fuck Kurt Cobain. Just fuck Kurt Cobain. Okay. The only entertaining thing he ever did was shoot himself.
Oh.
I know. I stand by it, though.
He didn't shoot himself.
Yeah, he did. He fucking had a shotgun in his mouth, didn't he?
Oh, well, yeah. Actually, it was his. It was his wife that killed him. He had so much heroin in him that he couldn't have held the rifle, let alone pulled the trigger.
I wouldn't doubt. Courtney loves. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not. That's not just me talking. I mean,
there's a Family Guy bit right where they said something about don't be a quitter. What if Kurt Cobain was a quitter? And they like cut to some alternate reality where Kurt Cobain's coming off stage in like the modern day, and it's like, wow, that was a great set, Kurt. And he goes, yeah, have you met my wife Courtney? And the guy goes, who?
I get it now.
She only became famous after he was dead. That's the other thing. Kurt Cobain, and then like after that, it's like, yeah, Courtney Love is a thing now. It's like, but why?
No, it's true. And she, she started her own band that sucked, and she actually got into a huge lawsuit with all the members of Nirvana, and and she was. She was a total. She never cleaned up. She continued staying a heroin addict. I don't know how she's still alive. She lost custody of their kid.
Oh God, they had a kid.
Yeah.
God, imagine your parents are fucking. Oh man.
Yeah, well, the only thing worse would have been having what's her name as a mother. Who is that?
Yeah, that's like the porn stars that have kids. It's like, good Lord.
Yeah.
And my dad's Kurt Cobain. Great.
Who was that stripper? She was like 6 feet tall. Anna Nicole Smith. And then her son ended up. She was a drug addict, and her son ended up killing himself by. I think it was. I don't think he meant to do it, but he was on a cup. He was on a cocktail of methadone and something
Like, some
else.
people just shouldn't fucking have kids. Nobody just decides. Maybe I should take a good look at myself before I decide to fucking breed. It's like, yeah, maybe I'm a little fucked up here. Maybe some innocent child shouldn't have to fucking deal with this.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially. I mean, that's what really pissed me off when you. I don't know where you found that letter the porn star wrote to her kid. Like
Oh man, and
public.
it was like an apology that wasn't an apology, like taking no fucking responsibility. It was infuriating.
Yeah, because I mean that kid is. The internet is forever. I mean, look, it's not like we're not talking like a mom that went on spring break and was caught on video, flashing her tits because she was drunk or something. We're talking about someone that used to have sex with entire basketball teams.
There's literally a video of Aurora Snow banging like 10 black guys, and they're all dressed like Black Panthers.
Like Black Panther.
Like they're dressed in those goofy fucking tuxedo suits that the Black Panthers used to wear, like in the '90s, and they got like the black gloves on and shit.
Oh, really?
And because I actually thought she was cute for a little while. That's one of those where I was like, when she was still fresh and all, I was like, oh, she's hot. And it's one of those where you like decide, I'm gonna look up her videos, and you're like, that's a mistake. That's a rookie fucking mistake right there.
That's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down.
Because
Yeah.
at least back then, maybe it's not the same now. I can't imagine it's any better now though. But back then, if a girl was in porn, she made the rounds on all the sites, and some of the sites were weirdly niche.
Yeah, yeah. Watching my mom go black. Literally, that's what her kid is going to be doing for that. That's what all her friends on the playground are going to be doing. They'll be like watching little
Oh,
Billy's
God.
mom go black.
Well, as I said back then, I'll say it again. It's one thing when the bully calls your mom a whore. It's another thing when he can produce hours of video evidence
Yeah, I mean,
that she
can you
is
imagine
indeed the filthiest of whores.
Can you imagine how bad this kid is going to get fucked with? I mean, especially if it's a boy.
I'm not even sure if being a boy or girl is worse in that scenario. It's almost apples and oranges of hell.
It's worse for the boy, I think.
I don't know. It's like I said. It's two very different flavors of hell that I don't know which one is worse. I can't.
Well, because girls are not like that's because those are the kind of insults guys say when you're a little kid. Because like the girls would get that kind of insult when they got older. Your mother's a whore, but at that point they have a little bit more life skills to deal with it. Like I can imagine little like 7 and 8 year olds saying your mother's a whore to boys, but they wouldn't say it to girls. I don't know. And,
Well, I
and
know
God
it's a
knows
boy
what kind
she
of
had.
society we're going to have I mean, the kid's probably going to grow up to be some transgendered freak anyway, where his mom pays for him to have a fucking sexual.
Given the mom that he's being raised by, who the fuck knows? Maybe he'll be fucking get gang banged by 10 Black Panthers in about 15 years.
Odds are, I mean, let's be honest. If you have a mom who's a porn star, she's not really good with impulse control and long-term decision making.
And the other thing, like, oh, I put that behind me. She was writing articles for the Daily Beast with her porn name. She was still
This is
using the name
this is the
Aurora
Daily
Snow.
Beast. Aurora Snow.
Oh,
Okay.
what was the little sand monkey porn star? Oh God, the one that was famous because she did the porn.
The Muslim porn?
She did the porn where she was wearing the hijab.
Oh yeah,
something.
yeah. She's the one that wants to be on ESPN. Like
Yeah, she wants to be like a hockey correspondent now. She was actually at a hockey game and fucking hockey puck hit her in the tit and busted her fucking implant. But she
what are
like
the odds of that? Like
she wanted to be like a sports star, so she calls into these radio shows. These morning zoo radio shows with the wacky sound effects and shit. And they were like, "Yeah, let's talk about how you're a whore," and she's like, "I don't want to talk about this." Like, no. You don't get to like, look, you made your decision, fine. Like, look, I'm not throwing stones at you. I've done tons of shit I ain't proud of. All right, but here's the deal, though. You don't get to like say, okay, I want to have the benefits of my decisions, but not the consequences. You are exploiting that. The only reason anybody knows who you are is because you suck dick and licked ass for money.
In a hijab.
And okay, fine. And you want to move on from that, fine. But you don't get to decide. No one gets to talk about it. You don't get to be like, I want to be famous, but no one's ever allowed to say why I'm famous. If you want to be a sportscaster, then you actually have to earn being known more for that than for the other thing. You don't get to say, I'm a sportscaster, and automatically that's what you're known for. You might be able to reach a point where that's what you're more known for, but you got to earn that, sweetie.
I actually heard that, at least part of that radio broadcast that you're talking about.
Yeah, we played it on here at one point.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. And from what I remember, that the morning zoo guys, whoever, they were not like necessarily fucking with it. They didn't know that was a trigger issue.
They didn't even. It wasn't like, that's all they wanted to talk about or something. He brought up the thing that a lot of porn stars are dating professional athletes. He brought up that there is a large overlap in the world of porn and professional sports. That these are just social circles that run together a lot. And he was talking about that. And she is a former porn star who wants to get into being a sportscaster. So that's an interesting topic to talk about with you. But no, oh my God, sweetie, the only reason he's even talking to you is because you put your titties out there. Again, you want to be more known as a sportscaster? Well, okay, fine. Everybody has their dreams, I guess. And it's entirely possible you could get to that point, but you got to earn it. You don't get to decide what everyone else thinks of you.
I just had a really bad joke where, the microphone is going to be a dildo. I just can't imagine anyone taking someone who used to like suck dick for a living on camera and then trying to give them a straight job. It just doesn't work. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I'm not big enough into sports to be like listening to sportscasters a ton. Like, I mean, I'm not a sports ball guy. I'll watch some hockey now and then. I'll watch a little bit of basketball now and then. That's about it. But I'm not going to sit around with the post game show and watch a bunch of half brain dead fucking former athletes. Like, did you see when he hit the ball? Like, yeah, I saw it. I can't imagine who the fuck watches post-game shows, by the way. Other than people who are waiting for the show that comes on after the game, I don't know who the fuck's watching these things.
Well, I laugh at people who actually watch the NFL draft. Like, people watch draft picks. So it's not even a game. You're just watching, like, the draft. When they draft the college kids?
Yeah, I don't...
People are watching this. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I don't know. Sports nerds are special.
Well, maybe porn stars would do a good job of being announcers because let's be honest, half the people who watch sports ball are cucks anyway. So maybe that's natural progression.
There's a lot of cuckiness going on with the sports ball. I'm not gonna lie.
And I don't even watch hockey anymore. I mean, I did as a kid when I lived in New York. But we don't have a professional hockey team here.
I can't say I watch it a lot. Like, I mean, I can't remember the last time I've actually watched a game live. I really cannot remember the last time I watched a hockey game. I like hockey, and basketball, it's been even longer. I think the last time I actually watched basketball games as they were going on is I had a roommate that was big into it, and it was entertaining enough I could sit and watch it. I was like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. It's not like football that I find just boring, or baseball where I'm like, oh God, when is this over? Like, I can actually get into it, but I'm not. I don't. And the thing about hockey is you got to go out of your way to follow it. It's not like fucking football. Like, I know every year I know who wins the Super Bowl against my will. But
well,
hockey,
no, that's true, especially if you live. I mean, if you live in it, like when I lived in New York, it was very different. Because and it was funny because I was just back there, last month, and you go to any bar, they'll have representation of all, baseball, basketball, football, hockey. Any big cities all have these teams, but like where I live or where you live, we don't have a hockey team.
I know Philadelphia is the closest teams to us, and Philadelphia is a huge football town. I grew up in Southern Maryland, and we had, all the TV stations were Washington, D.C. stations, and Washington is a fucking football town like you wouldn't believe. Like, they barely, the joke used to be, when they covered the other kind of sports, they were like, the Capitals won a hockey game. Will this boost the Redskins' morale? Like, they just didn't give a shit about the rest of the fucking teams in the area. They're just like, fucking football. Like, which I guess is part of why I have such a distaste for it, because it was fucking crammed down my throat as a kid. And it wasn't even my dad. My dad didn't really give much of a shit about it. He was indifferent to it. He'd watch it with friends, but didn't really give a shit. But just the area, like just the growing up in the area, it was it. And I'm almost glad I grew up there and not here where I'm at now, because here's in some ways even worse, because I live in an area now where they're obsessed with fucking high school sports and high school football. Like, we're damn near we're almost as bad as Texas.
Yeah, but hold on a second. See, that wouldn't bother me, and here's why. Because people who, unless it's like I remember seeing that movie Friday Night Lights, 20 years ago, whatever it was. Like, that was ridiculous how much they fawned over the kids. But the idea that, and even college sports to a lesser degree, but high school sports, they're just playing because they're kids playing the game. They're just playing because they love, for the love of the game. There's no money or any, even like in college, you could say they're all like the A-list teams are all getting money. The players are all getting money on the side and shit like that, and they're already planning on going pro and all that. But in high school, they're just playing for the love of the game. So I kind of respect that.
I guess, but it's like, how much money do these schools put into these fucking football fields and all this other shit? And like here in PA, I don't know how it is in other states, but here in PA, the schools are paid for with property taxes. So the idea that somewhere in this state, some old fucking widow gets run out of her home because she can't keep up with the property taxes because we got to put a new fucking football field in, kind of upsets me. It's funny. I remember my earth science teacher in high school. I can't remember his name, but I could picture him in my head. He looked like a gym coach. Now, he was a bright guy. He was teaching science, and he was good at it. But he looked like your stereotypical gym coach. And he was a gym coach also, and he was the coach of the football team, at least the 1 year. He took us out to the football field to make a model of the solar system, right? He had this giant inflatable beach ball for the sun, and, all the other planets are like, marbles, which I think Jupiter was like a baseball or something, because he wanted to show you an actual scale model, you know what I mean?
Right.
So we went out to the football field, and we didn't even get the whole solar system. I think we made it to Jupiter. This was years and years ago, but we didn't. We made it like halfway down the fucking solar system in a football field. You know what I mean? Which again, give you a scale of how big just our solar system is, let alone the galaxy, the universe, etc. And I remember being the smart-ass teenager that I was, saying, this is really amazing. And you know what else is amazing? We're actually using the football field for educational purposes. Now, you think that's funny right now. I thought it was hilarious at the time. He was not amused, though. He was not very amused.
Well, he might have had a real love of the game. And look, I don't know. I think you could make an argument that there is benefits to teaching young kids team sports.
I'm not as anti-sports ball as I used to be. If for no other reason, I don't want to be one of those guys who's lecturing other motherfuckers on you're having fun wrong and I'm getting on my high horse and all that other stuff. I don't want to be one of those guys. That said, though, there's really a sense of a lot of you motherfuckers need to chill out with it. Like, that's all I can say about it. Like, and I would say that to some of my fellow nerds, you know what I mean? Where it's like, if you've never lived your life because you're too obsessed with this fictional thing you're all about, like you need to chill out, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I love goofy nerd shit too, but you gotta live your life at a certain point. And some of these sports ball guys, it's like, what are you doing, man?
No, I agree. We're on the same page, Well, because it's like, because you like nerd shit, and a lot of people could make fun of that.
There's times I wish I could get into football just for the social aspect of it,
Right.
But it's just so fucking boring. Oh God, it's so boring. Like the XFL started up this year, and then of course it got destroyed by the coronavirus. But it was actually, from what I hear, pretty good. And if I remember back in the day when the XFL was running, the ball stayed in play, so there wasn't a timeout every like 3.5 fucking seconds. Because I remember watching an XFL game and like, man, I think I could actually get into this. Part of what I like about hockey and interestingly enough basketball, it's funny, I like the whitest and the blackest fucking sports. But is their fast paced shit actually fucking happens. Now, in some ways, it's the polar opposite because hockey is an insanely low scoring game, whereas basketball is an insanely high scoring game. But shit's fucking happening. You know what I mean? Like, we don't take a timeout every 3 fucking seconds.
Well, yeah, and usually if you do, it means something huge is going to happen after the timeout, like there's a penalty, right? So
yeah,
if
there's
a
3 minutes
play,
left in the game, it's not going to take 40 minutes to play. That's all I'm saying about basketball and hockey.
Yeah, and if it's a close hockey game, when they pull that goalie out in the end, it's kick ass, when they got.
Yeah, and hockey. I actually think of all the major sports in this country that are big, I think basketball and hockey are the most physically impressive to me. Like everybody's like, oh, football, they're like the gladiators. And I'm like, again, I don't remember the gladiators taking a timeout every 3 fucking seconds. I don't think that happened in ancient Rome. I don't think somebody had a sword in his face and he got to take a timeout. Also,
if he did, it was his last time out ever.
Yeah, like, oh no, timeout. Like everybody be looking at him like, the emperor's like, can he do that? Somebody bring me the scroll with the rules. I want to see if he can do that. But it just didn't happen that way. All right, everyone's going to act like the football players are like, oh, it's the most impressive thing. And it's like, I don't know, man. I remember my high school team. Like, there was a big fat fuck on there that was actually an integral part of the team because his job was to run into motherfuckers. And I mean, this was a guy that in high school was so fat he didn't bend his knees when he walked. That kind of fat.
Jesus. Like,
he should have been fucking fighting the X-Men under the name The Blob, like that kind of fucking fat. And
I feel sorry for him because if he was that fat in high school,
I actually saw him a couple years later, and he kind of got his act together.
Oh, okay.
He's not looking too bad now, so good for him. Good for him. He is so fucking bald now, though. God, good God, it's unreal. It's like he wished on a monkey's paw to lose weight, and somehow that made him lose his hair too. I don't know, but anyways, but like baseball, whatever. Football, I'm not even all that impressed with. But like basketball and hockey, like first of all, hockey players could skate, and I couldn't skate to save my soul. So right away, that's points right there for him. And like basketball, you got a bunch of 7-foot tall motherfuckers jumping around like goddamn Spider-Man. All right, like that's impressive shit.
Yeah, I don't know. The basketball, I just can't get into it. Maybe it's the race thing. My buddy used to always say it's the African ballet.
The gayest thing about basketball, I'll give you this, and this is annoying, is they love to pretend to get hurt all the fucking time in basketball. Like it's almost the polar opposite of hockey, where it beat the shit. It's the fucking hockey player will take his skate off and stab you with it or something. But like basketball players, like, oh, he pushed me. I'm gonna act like I hurt my knee and fucking foul. Like.
It's called drawing a foul. The art of drawing a foul.
Get the fuck out of here.
And what's really bad now is that has fallen into soccer. Soccer never used to have these. Now they always trying to get every. They call it a foul in soccer when they pull out the yellow card.
I don't know. Soccer to me, that's another thing I can't watch because I feel like I'm watching a hockey game in slow mo.
Yeah, no, it's very. That was the only way I was able to watch because I've gotten a lot of free tickets to hockey games and I went. It was free. And it was more for the social aspect of it. But I can understand it because the strategy is almost identical to hockey. It's literally like watching hockey in slow motion.
Well, yeah, I don't know. The football thing, I mean. And I literally got hit in the chest by an NFL player once, by the way. This is a true story. I worked a Halloween show called Jason's Woods. I probably shouldn't even have named it, but fuck it. Nobody listens to my show anyways. And I worked there a couple of years over the years. And, I was one of the actors. And the one year, I was in the barn. And, it's scenes coming through. And you don't get a break when you're there, by the way. Like, you get, like, they let people in groups so that you have time to reset up your scene and stuff like that. And, you in your little cubby hole where nobody can see. You got a bottle to piss in and a bottle full of iced tea, both clearly labeled. But that's it. You don't get breaks beyond that. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but I'm in this big alien costume, like xenomorph, and it's like a scene where it's like, you're on a ship in this particular part of it, and there's like a big xenomorph mannequin behind the cage, and then I'm standing in a cubby hole, and people think I'm a mannequin, and then, maybe they walk right by me, and I come up behind them or something like that. But I can't. There was just this group of like 15 giant motherfuckers, mostly black dudes, walked through, and I just thought it was some fucking ghetto hood rats from Philly coming down. And you always go for the black guys when you're working that job too. Little white girls and black guys are the ones that you're going to get the most reaction out of. And the more ghetto looking the black dude, the more he's going to freak out. Don't know why that is. Couldn't tell you. Just a fucking thing I observed. Fucking
Well, did you see
Jamal
Eddie,
and Tiffany McKenzie are going to be the ones you're going to want to go for because they're going to get the reaction.
Well, didn't you hear Eddie Murphy's joke about black people and ghosts? So I don't know if that's the similar thing.
I don't think I heard that, but
he just said he goes, I'll let you in on a little secret. He goes, black people don't like spooks. He goes, that's why you never see black people in a horror movie.
But they're always the first to die too.
Yeah,
so
the first. Yeah, that's it.
But I sneak up behind this guy, the last in line, and I kind of grab his shoulder a little bit, and he turns around and freaks the fuck out, screams like a fucking woman. And as he swings around, he like swings his arm. I can't even remember exactly how it happened. He swings his arm into like my chest, as he like bolts out of the fucking area, just running away screaming. Knocked me right on my ass, and it was not particularly easy to get up in that costume. And I got home that night, and I had a fucking bruise on my chest. Looked like fucking dominatrix took a cane to me. All right, which is something I know what that looks like. I just know. I'm like, good Lord. But what was funny is, at the end of the night, the one guy, I'll call him Carl. That's not his name, but Carl would be the guy who lets people in and all. And when he comes into your scene, you're done for the night. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like he'd come through everybody's scene after the last guy, and we'd kind of all, be right behind the last group, kind of coming. Well, he comes through, and I was like, oh, and we're all standing out there. And I'm like, man, that was one giant fucking black dude just knocked me on my ass, and my fucking chest hurts. And he goes, oh yeah, that was the Eagles. I'm like, the what? The rock group? What the fuck are you talking about? That's honestly the first thing I think of. You fucking the Eagles. I didn't know. What the fuck are you talking about? There were no black people in the Eagles. What are you talking about? That was a fucking 70s rock group. But no, he points over and they got the giant fucking like tour bus or some shit that these guys are in. With like Philadelphia Eagle crap all over it. And I was like, well, motherfucker. I got fucking sacked by an NFL player. Not a lot of motherfuckers can say that.
No, that's, you must have wore that bruise with pride after that.
That fucking hurt. Like, shit, he nailed me right in the chest, knocked me right on my ass. And that alien costume fucking sucked, too. Nobody else could make that scene work. And I don't know why. It was so simple. It's like, just stay still and let them move by you, think you're nothing, and then come at them. But nobody else could make that scene work. And I think people just didn't like being in that costume, because that costume was fucking disgusting. Basically, it was a shirt that I'm pretty sure somebody died in, and some jeans that I'm pretty sure somebody died in, that then had all the alien shit, like, glued on and sewn onto it, and then you get the big alien helmet, like a big alien mask, I guess, whatever, that you could barely see out of, right? I would come home after fucking wearing this damn thing and get in the shower. And I mean, the water coming off of me was black. Like this thing was fucking disgusting.
It's like working in the coal mine.
That could be long nights too. It was funny, like, they'd start selling tickets at like 6 or something like that. And I think tickets would stop going on sale at like 8 or 9 or something. But that's not when you were done. You were done when everybody who bought a ticket went through. And that line could be fucking huge. There were times it was like 1 a.m. when my scenes when Frank came, or Carl came to relieve me kind of thing. And I mean, it was long nights sometimes. It was a great job, but it was a young man's gig.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like. I mean, if you did that now, you'd probably die from heat exhaustion.
I'll tell you the other thing I learned there. Well, some scenes are really cold because it's October and November and September when you're doing this. Like the last week of September, all through October, the first week of November, they do it. And it's just a weekend. It's just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. But sometimes you could be really fucking freezing your ass. There's the hayride, you're outside, but maybe you're in the barn and it gets really fucking hot, especially if you're in a giant rubber fucking costume. But it was a great job. I enjoyed it. It was, back in like 02, 03 when I first did it, it was like $10 an hour, which was the most, I was like right out of high school.
You were rolling in dough.
Yeah, I would joke. There was $10 an hour for something I'd have done for free.
But anyway, Negro, I gotta take off.
I do too because I have to get up at fucking 10, which is that's like 7 from normal people or something.
All right. Well, it was good talking to you as always. So peace out, my brother.
All right, folks. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you enjoy the show, oh man, we're like way in the red there. I hope this wasn't too fucking annoying. Sounds like I'm over in the red. Hope I wasn't too loud. If you enjoy the show, there's, I don't know, Streamlabs, PayPal, whatever, donations down there you can hit up. Probably going to start doing this more regularly, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm never entirely sure what to do with this. Well, I'm going to get to bed here soon, so that's about all I got for tonight, folks. I want to thank you all.